regards to the folks in this room, folks that may be viewing online, I did not expect to be called for this tonight, but however, I feel compelled to speak on it. 40 years I've been in public service in this county, from the sheriff's office to the board of supervisors. I sat in Mr. Adams' seat for about 7.5 years. Never in my life ever heard of nor encountered the activity that I have seen come from our Commonwealth Attorney's Office. The police officer, that's all we have. When we appear before court, we raise the right hand. Whatever testimony we give is the best to our ability. And the judge needs to be confident. Everyone in that courtroom needs to be confident, and the victim. There have been times that it has been brought to my attention that an officer lacked integrity or was not truthful about something he or she may have done. I had no problem with excusing that officer or officers from their position. Don't have room for it. However, since being reelected and about 2 years ago, coming back into office and start dealing with what we have dealt with as a sheriff's office is appalling. Not only to me and to the officers involved in this, but it should be to our community. Our community deserves better than this. Madam Chair, speaking of, is one of the most recent Brady letters that was intended not to be discovered by our office, but how it was discovered recently was during a murder trial when the defense attorney made the officer aware, "Are you aware of the second Brady letter?" And he said, "What are you talking about?" And the defense attorney told him what it was, and he asked the defense attorney to provide him a copy of that letter. And several days later, I recollect that the defense attorney did provide that letter, and it's to my chief deputy. I'm just going to make it straightforward as I can be. And there have been others in the office, but the one I'm speaking of tonight is to Major Begley, my chief deputy, or your chief deputy as a community. I was unaware of this. I was unaware of this until the defense attorney made us aware of others. Their integrity is the one that needs to be questioned. But unfortunately, there is no law or no road of due process for officers when they are accused of this. And unfortunately, people use their authority to do things that are totally inappropriate. So after I came into office, and I got a phone call from a special agent with state police, and I don't even recall what his name was. But it was after I had named him as their chief deputy, and he called me, and he said, "Sheriff Ayers, I want to tell you one thing." He said, "You've selected a good man as your chief deputy, and I'm going to tell you why." He said, "I was on part of the team that did the investigation of the murder of the police officer at Wintergreen. If it hadn't been for your chief deputy, there would have been 2 police officers killed that night." Said he exited his vehicle and one of the police officers was struggling with that same individual over another gun. And he said within a matter of minutes, that individual was subdued and that officer's life was saved. The folks, I stand before you tonight to think that our Commonwealth attorney and his assistant continue to hammer him and hammer our agency, and in turn it creates a rippling effect on our community and how our officers do their job is unfair. It's unjust. And then to bring you all into this most recent situation, when he stood before you all, I was present that night. I didn't see anything that he was untruthful for. Folks, I'll tell you one thing. I'm tired. I'm tired of dealing with it. And all I ask is I hope that our General Assembly can do something that will protect other officers in other jurisdictions from this same type of repetitive harassment. We have to ask ourselves, how many other jurisdictions around the Commonwealth go through this? How many others? It's very, very few. It happens. But it's not often that it does happen. But it seems to be a repetitive problem here in Amherst County for some reason. I have no reservations to standing here publicly tonight and saying what I've said. I defend my men and women each and every day as they defend you all. To overcome and deal with 2 years of a former administration and incoming to ours, and I'm far from perfect and we're far from perfect. But they did their best to be the best. And we continue to deal with someone that continues to tear our men and women down for absolutely no reason.